We arrived in San Juan early this morning, and our first order of business was to find some food. We'd spotted this Olive Garden sign, but we couldn't figure out how to get around to the front. And then I spotted this hole in the fence. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And yes, it was worth it. Not far from the marina was the Distrito, and this was the kids' absolute favorite part of San Juan. A quick $4 Uber ride or about a 15-minute walk, and we had access to movie theaters, arcades, restaurants, all kinds of stuff. First, we watched Kung Fu Panda 4, and then Anna and I watched Dune Part 2. And what's funny about that is that they speak like another language in that movie, and it was subtitled in Spanish, so we could only like guess at what they were saying.
Dad gave us Cocoa Puffs for dinner, Mom. Take that for your healthy list. Hat.
Hey, Dad, Mom.
And we like Dad the most because you never give us Cocoa Puffs for dinner, but Dad does.
Yeah.
Dad.
I love you.
The next day, the kids and I explored some of Old San Juan, specifically Castillo San Felipe de Morro, or as we call it, the fort.
Probably because it's old and like some of the concrete's coming apart, so they're probably trying to preserve it. Preserving means to keep it safe, keep it from breaking any further.
It's kind of like a tradition for the kids to fly kites at the fort. So we grabbed a couple at the gift shop and flew kites on this beautiful grassy field. Aria chose the Puerto Rico flag and Wes chose the US flag. And then we hit the arcade for an hour or so before I traded in the kids for the husband and started our much needed provisioning. And it was absolutely one of the most amusing things I've ever seen, watching my husband drive around in the little electric shopping cart. We didn't need AC in the Bahamas, but now that we're further south, it's gotten hot, and we are just finding out that ours is broken, hence the fans. Day 2 of provisioning, and I didn't get a lot of pictures today because we were super busy, but the girls were definitely impressed with the elevator at Walmart. And we hit the Distrito one last time and called it a day. We only had 3 days at our parking spot at the marina, so we had to leave after we fueled up. The anchorage in front of the marina was super crowded and kind of deep, so we didn't have enough room to put out the correct scope. So we went around the corner and anchored in what's labeled as a deep draft anchorage. I mean, 6 feet is deep, right? And then, of course, around 4:30 in the afternoon, a pilot boat shows up to tell us that there's a tanker coming in and we're in his spot. Our next option was to move in front of the fort. However, Port Authority said we could not anchor there for some reason, even though it is labeled as an anchorage. So with no other options, we had to leave San Juan. I was not happy about this because I didn't have time to take seasick medication, and there was like 4-foot swell outside, and it was about to get dark. And like, where do we even go? So luckily, Brent found this spot on the far east side of Puerto Rico. It was about 30-ish miles away, and it took us about 5 hours to get there. We arrived around 11 p.m., dropped anchor in white sand. We pulled anchor early the next morning and started making our way towards Culebra. It was a nice ride over, but we were dodging squalls the whole day. And because of that same northern swell, we had to anchor in the southern bay, which was an okay anchorage, but there were no beaches anywhere. All the nice beaches are on the north side of the island, but we made the best of it for today.
Okay, I'm gonna do a jump that's called a dive. That'll give me 1,001. That'll give me 1,000,000 points for jumping.
All right, let's do meditative jump.
No, dive.
Dive. I'd love to see a dive.
The next day, we set up a Jeep rental and toured the island. One of our favorite stops and one of the most iconic locations in Culebra was Flamenco Beach. It is definitely a beautiful beach, but a little too touristy for us as there were tons of people around. Plus, with Brent being on crutches, we didn't stay very long. But I did get this iconic picture of Wes. We drove all around the island, which really isn't that big, and there isn't too much to see. But we did spot our boat and our friend's boat. And then we grabbed some pizza for lunch and called it a day.
Go look at him, Mario.
Okay, so look, watch. You know, lights on. Whenever you try to have your eyes, stay tuned for next time, because we're heading to the Virgin Islands. I love bananas, by the way.